I planned on doing a 50-day dopamine detox, but the results were so good, I couldn't wait to start telling you.
Fucking awesome.
I made my first money online coaching, and I had ruined all of my progress just by constantly changing my mind, switching things, like just being a retard. I stopped training after years of showing up 2-3 times a day, multiple sessions, multiple sports, go, and I had just stopped after 5 years of training and self-improvement. I was coming off of a breakup, I was weaker than I was in my peak, and everything I'd built over the last 6-12 months had went to complete shit. So what I did was I stripped my life down. I committed to just doing like this dopamine detox and just reaffirming like the clarity that I wanted with the trajectory I was going in my life. I'm only halfway through. I was planning on making this video at day 50. I'm only halfway through, and the results have been so good that I can't force myself not to share them. I wanted to share this with you at day 3. I feel like an entirely different human being, and I want to show you exactly what changed, the process that I went through, and hopefully just help you out a little bit if you're struggling with like your mentality or your fitness or your consistency or whatever. It had gotten so bad that after around 5 years of self-improvement, I had started scrolling again, like going on Instagram. I had even downloaded like TikTok for a second. I've never used TikTok a minute in my entire life other than this period. I was just experiencing like such a level of dread just from being alive. And the thing is, I'm always like the happiest person in the room. Like, this was not me. I was just kind of like hating my life experience. And it kind of reminded me of back in like 2020 when like 5 years ago when I had started this journey. I had started this self-improvement journey because I was depressed. I was genuinely like suicidal when I had started. And I built up so much progress over the years, and I've just kind of like stagnated. I realized that I hadn't truly been consistent. 3 years. Maybe the first 2 years was a big boom, and you can probably relate to this when self-improvement had got to like the highest point to where everybody was maybe training more like the red pill or whatever the fuck blew up. I'm not saying like I follow that space, but I'm just saying like that's kind of what started it for everybody originally. And nowadays people are like just getting in to self-improvement. All of that stuff is in the past. And it's harder than ever to be consistent. And I was like, me, somebody who had like this unfair advantage over everybody else, I'd been inconsistent. And the main problem was I've made enough progress to not need like the basic like self-improvement. I know that sounds like cope, but just hear me out. I'm happy enough. My results are good enough to where if I was to stop training or to be inconsistent, I still have a dope physique. My results were good enough. I was happy enough to where if I didn't meditate, I was present enough. I could scroll for a couple months, couple years maybe, and still be present, still be active, still be able to focus well enough to pass my grades and upload the videos I need to upload and do the calls that I need to do or whatever. I was able to practice gratitude enough to where people thought like I was a warm, loving, good person, right? I don't need to do the journaling or send the extra text message or go out of my way to write something nice to someone. It's good enough. When you have that mindset, you can only go down. And because I had started to turn into the person who needed those things after years of just being good enough, it was a huge take back to when I had first started, when I was in the kitchen, unhappy with life, and I look at a knife and go, if that was in me right now, I wouldn't be that upset. That's where I come from. And those thoughts didn't arise, but I could feel something getting close. So I knew that I needed to change. I started this 50-day, I was just going to do 50 days. I was going to set it as an extreme period, and then I was going to give myself like a little bit of like chill time. That was a thought process originally, and I don't want to just do 50 days, but we'll say 50 days for now. And I'd done this for the first time in about 3 years. I'd started thinking, right? I was like, okay, what is it that I can do that's going to get me back the mindset I had before? That's going to get me back the fire I had before, that let me be consistent, make the initial boom of progress in my journey to where I'd become like the national level athlete, the high level athlete. I was happy and fulfilled, and I was good with girls, and I was learning how to socialize, and I was progressing in all these areas, and I was going up and up and up, and then I just stopped. What was right before the stopping point? And I figured it out. I had created what we're going to call a habit tracker, where basically you write down on a piece of paper all like the habits that you are going to do just to keep yourself accountable. You put it up on your wall. I have mine over here. I might put something up on screen if I remember to, but it's basically just like you take a pen, you take a piece of paper, you write lines, you'll write like each habit, and then you'll put like the day that you're on right next to it. Here are mine. Wake up, 5 a.m. This morning I actually woke up at 2:30, so I've been reducing this over time. I normally wake up at around 3 now. Meditation. I was like, I haven't been consistent with meditation in forever. Now I have a 26-day meditation streak. And I normally meditate between 20 and 30 minutes per day, which is the most I've done in my entire life. I'm genuinely proud of myself for that. Gratitude journaling is the third one. So we have wake up early, 5 a.m. minimum or max. Meditation. It can be 1 minute, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. It can be 3 hours, who cares? Gratitude journaling. So writing down things that you're grateful for. These are the two most important mental health habits, is meditation and gratitude journaling paired together. That'll solve 80 to 90% of your mental issues just like on your day-to-day. Deep work. So working on something meaningful, the most important task for the day. Structuring videos, recording them, getting calls booked, going on calls, things like this. I haven't missed a single day of this. Cardio. I like to do adventure style cardio as well. So if you're seeing the thumbnail, it's like me kind of on like the side of a, I think it's called like a water irrigation system or whatever, but it's me next to the lake. I've never been to that spot before. I just found a spot and I decided to stop with my bike and just like chill there. And I was skipping stones or skipping rocks and all of this stuff. I play volleyball basically every day, like between 5 and 8 times a week now, just at school, like regularly. Gym was another one because I wasn't consistent. I've never had to write down gym on a habit tracker, but I did for this because like we mentioned before, I wasn't consistent. I'm going to be going into that on why it is that I'm able to be consistent now, but not before. Reading, replacing social media. No social media was allowed other than school.com. That's SKOOL.com. Just because my business is built there and that's where all my friends are. And I'll go into a little bit more detail about that later. You see the Thailand trip behind me. I'm going to a trip to Thailand in 7 months with a bunch of my friends, or hopefully I will. These were my habits. The biggest thing that I wanted to fix during this period was I still wasn't fully consistent with training, and I didn't understand why. Not exactly, which was so goddamn weird. My entire business is centered around training. My entire business is centered around being consistent and hitting your goals and being disciplined and all that. And I was still being disciplined, right? I was replacing it with like business work, and I was replacing it with reading and like extra meditation time or like schoolwork or whatever the hell. But the training was a part of it. So I actually talked to somebody very special. I got to speak to the part owner of Canadian Ninja Warrior. You know the show American Ninja Warrior, where like they climb up the wall and they like do the obstacle course, and if they fall, they go in the water. One of the biggest shows in America during a time. I got to talk to the guy who owns the Canadian version, one-on-one, and the conversation lasted like 3 hours. Awesome dude. He's the coolest guy I've met on the planet. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if like he wants me like telling people that I did that, because he normally doesn't do that for people. Anyways, the 2 lessons that I learned from that conversation when it pertains to me: I've always been somebody who gets motivated heavily by other people. When I had first started playing volleyball when I was younger, my main goal was to be an Olympic level athlete, and I was motivated by the show Haikyuu, which is basically like a volleyball anime. And I wanted to be an Olympic level athlete because of that, and I actually got pretty far. I got to the national level when I was like younger. When I would play like Fortnite or video games with my friends, I didn't care about winning against random people. I didn't care about playing by myself. I only played with people, and I only ever got to the level to where I was just better than everyone. So if I was better than all of my friends, I stopped progressing. Once they caught up to me, then I would progress a ton, and then I would stay there. I was always the best in the group when it came to that. When I wrestled, I was the best freshman by far. I was well, except for the guy was the younger brother of a state champion. That was kind of difficult, but that was maybe like 30-70 split, so I'm not upset about that. Calm down, Brandon. But I'd gotten to a high level in that. Whenever I'm around people who are very business minded, I go hard on my business. Like there's a guy named Sam Walford who I'm working with, who is an awesome like online business coach, whatever, and he has us inside of this program, me and a bunch of other people. It's like a ton of money to get in, whatever, and we're all together and we're all focusing on business. We're all trying to make as much money as possible, do as much as possible, whatever, and he has like all these trainings for us. Seeing that there's 19 other people, especially the people who are in my niche, who are helping skinny guys, who are helping guys bulk up, who are helping people with their mental health, whatever. Seeing that gives me so much drive to where I'm waking up at 2:30 a.m., 30 minutes before my alarm, and I'm like, fuck, okay, let's go. And I get ready, I put on my clothes, I put on the fancy shirt. You think I slept in this shit? No. Putting on the fancy shirt, scripting out the entire video, making the thumbnail, all that stuff. That stuff takes time. I woke up at 3. It's currently 5, or it's 4:30. Got a couple of calls booked, things set up, DMs. I have a call right after I get done recording this and get done editing it, probably. I need to be around these people. So I thought, okay, I need to beat people who are around me. So I need to find goals that allow me to beat them. So when it comes to training, I realized that there's a couple of people that I feel a little bit angry to hear that they're better than me in certain lifts. Like there's a guy that I know who benches like 120, 125 kilos, and he's a dumbass. I only bench about 100 kilo. It pisses me off that he's able to bench more than me. So now, by the end of the year, my goal is to have a 160 kilo bench. So I'm going to add 60 kilo. And you might be thinking, what? That's crazy. I've been like stuck. I'm not stuck. I haven't been. If I was to peak, I'd hit like 120, no problem. I just haven't peaked for it. Adding that isn't going to be an issue for me. And you might be thinking like, oh, Brandon says 60 kilo. It's not 60 kilo. I've been able to bench 100 kilo for like 2 years. I just don't bench as often as I probably should have. That's my main goal. I most certainly don't. I need someone to motivate me to a goal. The guy I was just talking about, the guy who owns Canadian Ninja Warrior, he did a test and he did 124 pull-ups in 10 minutes. Funny enough, pull-up is my favorite exercise. It's my best lift. I did 50 kilos for 5 reps, 20 kilos for 15. I did 25 bodyweight pull-ups in a row. I was like, I can beat that guy. Give me a couple of months, 6 months, 8 months. And I'll destroy him. Second thing I realized, I don't run off pain anymore. While I've been on this detox, like at the beginning of the detox I did, but after literally 3-4 days, I stopped running off pain. I realized that I live on desire, and you have to be very careful of where you're at when it comes to this, because you can either run off pain or desire, but if you don't have pain and you try running off it, your life goes down. If you run off desire, but you have none of it, your life stays the same. You might be thinking, it might just be the best idea to think about, running off desire. No, because your life will stay the same if you have none. When you're first starting out, if you know that you're an angry, depressed, kind of sad guy, you're probably looking more at pain. You're probably looking at, I hate where I'm at. And because of that hate, I'm going to accelerate my progress like crazy. I'm going to explode my progress like crazy. If you're already like me, how I described before, where you're at a decently comfortable level, you're running off desire. It's so much more exciting to me to say, I want to plan a trip to Thailand with my boys, and I need to make 4K in order to go by the time I'm 18. So much more exciting than going, I want to make 4K. I need it because then I won't be able to live in what I'll be fine. I always am. I know I'm the type of person who will figure it out, and I'll be able to pull it off because I've shown myself that dozens and dozens and hundreds of times in the past. What I haven't shown myself is that I can go to Thailand, plan a trip by myself, all of those things. That's more of an exciting challenge. And going with a group, meeting one of my best friends ever, my friend Orpheus, going to Thailand, meeting people, all of these things, that's going to be the best trip ever. I get to meet 4 or 5 different people that I've known in online forever now. And I get to meet them, and we've been on calls, and we've had fun, and we've laughed, and we've learned together, and we've grown together, and we've made mistakes together, and we all come together and try and figure it out. That would be so cool. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I'm sad. I'm doing it because I have such a boner for life. My life boner is so big that that's what I want. That's my desire. And the thing is, if I had none, if I had no desire, most people don't, which is fine if you're at that stage. I think that this is level 2 of self-improvement. I don't know what the levels past this are, but this is the next stage of self-improvement I've noticed. It's fine if you're not there completely. I ran off fucking pain for years. Once you have desire, and you explode again. And I'm learning lessons and doing things that I haven't felt this feeling in years. And I want you to be able to do this. And the habits that I mentioned before are the most crucial thing. I don't have this written down, but another point that I want to add is that going through trauma helped me a ton. A lot of people fall off with consistency just because they're not mentally okay enough within their own head to be consistent. They get anxious, or they start thinking, and they use these things like social media, like scrolling, like junk food or whatever, to kind of mask the parts of themselves that they don't like, the thoughts that they don't like. When I had broken up with my girlfriend, I was thinking about her all of the time for 6-8 months. We're on month 8, so maybe closer to 6. That was painful. And funny enough, that's when my life had taken the biggest dip it had in years, because I was using all of these things to mask. I was constantly changing, getting dopamine spikes, constantly modifying my training routine for no reason, randomly eating junk food for the sake of bulking for no reason. And it was because I was sad. It had traumatized me. And people think about that word as a negative thing. No, traumatized is just you had an event that continuously affects you negatively. Keeping it simple, some fucking critical thinker just looked up the definition and was like, I'm actually, shut the fuck up. Shut your dumb ass up. How I define trauma is something that sticks with you for longer than the events of it happening. So for example, I get punched in the face. For 3 days, if I'm like, ow, my face, that's not trauma. If I'm, after like the bruise is healed, after the fight has happened, if I'm looking over my shoulder to see where the guy is, and like I've never seen him before, like I was in a random spot, like in a random city, somewhere random on earth, whatever, and somebody hit me. If I'm constantly like looking over my shoulder, like in a completely different country, to see like where he is, or if he's gonna pull up, or what if he does, or like if I turn this corner, someone's there, I'm gonna get them. Like, you're traumatized. And the thing is, what I noticed, the easiest way to get over this is just say, yeah, that was scary as shit. I have a video on my channel called Trauma, where I go into like my journey with volleyball and how that affected me. You can take a watch if you want. I'm not gonna like talk about it too much here. But working on trauma is extremely important. After figuring out all of this, I've been so consistent with training. I haven't missed a day. And it's been with my old style, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm being stronger than ever. I think I'm hitting PRs. I got a new phone, so my tracker, like I went to an old phone, just for the sake of like, it's a little bit weird, but just for the sake of fucking like, it's kind of like an old style, and it's all cracked and it's messed up and it's in grayscale, whatever. It has no case. Like, I just thought it'd be interesting to try, and I've actually noticed that it kind of makes me like want to be on my phone less and kind of like use it more as a phone, if that kind of makes sense. I've been super consistent, and I don't know if I'm hitting PRs actually, because my old phone has the old tracking app, and my new phone, well, this is an old phone, but the one I'm using now has a new tracking app, and I think I'm hitting PRs, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'm getting strong again. And I always talk about in my videos, you'll notice, like I hit 50 kilos for 5 reps on weighted pull-ups. That number is going to go up. Fucking finally. So yeah. Just so you know, I wanted to mention, I have like a full like dopamine detox challenge. So 50-day protocol, I'm gonna make it when either I'm finished or around like the 40-ish day mark. I'm gonna make that protocol kind of when I go through and finish everything, and it's gonna be in there for completely free. Everything inside of like my online university is completely free. Link in the description. You'll see like all of that stuff and whatever. My life has changed completely. I booked more calls than ever in my business. I'm setting up tons of calls, getting tons of DMs. I'm more focused than ever. I'm started making money again, which is funny to say. Getting on more calls, selling products, selling coaching, whatever. I'm getting back to the strongest I've ever been. I'm getting to be able to help people. Views on YouTube are finally starting to go up again. Oh my God, that was such a like depressing phase, because I was just uploading random bullshit where I was like randomly in between takes because my brain was just broken. I'm helping people. I'm getting to inspire people. I get comments and replies to posts and DMs all of the time. I read more than I have in my entire life. Everybody wants to start like the habit of reading. I've actually done it. And I'm going hard on my business. I'm waking up at 3 a.m. I'm working like a sweatshop worker, and I just overall am loving my life. I want the same thing for you. So if you've noticed that you're a skinny guy, you're a hard gainer, you want to improve your mental health, that is the type of person that I'm looking for specifically. But if you fall in any of those categories, go ahead, join my online university, and I will help you. Otherwise, my name has been Brandon. Keep doing the best, doing your best. Join Hard Gainer University. Signing off.